The mirror is honest. It shows you your reflection, the skin, the scars, the weight, the wrinkles, the tired eyes. It doesn't sugarcoat, it doesn't flatter. It gives you a snapshot of what's on the outside. But don't be fooled. Because while the mirror doesn't lie, it also doesn't tell the whole truth. It doesn't show the battles you fought just to stand where you are today. It doesn't show the nights you stayed strong when everything around you was falling apart. And it doesn't show the discipline you've been building, the self-control you're working on, the courage it took just to start. The mirror shows your reflection, but it can't show your resilience. It doesn't see how hard you're trying. It doesn't see the pain you're healing from. It doesn't see the moments you chose growth over comfort when no one was watching. And that's the danger. Too many people judge their entire worth by what they see in the mirror. They see extra weight and call themselves lazy. They see gray hairs and call themselves old. They see tired eyes and call themselves broken. But let me remind you, a mirror can only show you one version of you. It can't reflect your heart, it can't measure your progress, and it can't capture your potential. So when you stand in front of it, don't look for judgment, look for accountability. Ask yourself, am I moving in the direction of the person I want to become? Not, do I look perfect? Not, am I where I think I should be by now? Just, am I showing up for myself today? Because real growth is not always visible. Sometimes the biggest breakthroughs happen long before they show on the surface. Like choosing water over soda, getting out of bed instead of hitting snooze, saying no to that toxic relationship, and saying yes to yourself, maybe for the first time in years. The mirror can't show those things, but you can feel them. So don't let a piece of glass tell you who you are. Let your habits tell the story. Let your mindset shape your identity. Let your actions build your confidence. You are not failing just because you don't see instant results. The person you're becoming, the life you're building, it's growing in silence, like roots before a tree ever breaks the surface. When the reflection doesn't match your vision, keep going. When you feel stuck or unseen, keep going. When you're tempted to quit because it doesn't look like it's working, keep going. Because you are more than what you see in the mirror. The discipline behind closed doors, the quiet strength when nobody claps, and the tears you wiped away before walking into work like nothing was wrong. That's who you are. So yes, the mirror is honest, but it's not complete. And neither are you yet. But you're becoming, you're rebuilding, you're rising. And that version of you, the one that's growing in the background, that's the one the mirror can't reflect just yet. But you know they're coming. So until then, take what the mirror gives you, but look deeper, because you hold the full truth, and that truth has yet to be revealed. Just because somebody else doesn't see your value doesn't mean you're worthless. And just because somebody else discards you doesn't mean you're garbage. People will overlook you. They'll talk over you, walk past you. They'll treat you like you're invisible. But here's the truth. Their opinion doesn't define your value. Your worth isn't decided by how loud you are, how popular you are, or how many people cheer you on. You were born worthy. That doesn't change just because the world forgot to clap for you. See, too many people spend their lives trying to earn what they already have. They chase approval. They bend, shrink, and twist themselves into shapes just to fit into someone else's frame. And still they feel empty. Why? Because deep down, they've started to believe the lie that if they don't see my value, maybe I don't have any. And that lie is poison, and it spreads. Because it shows up when you second guess your decisions, when you stop yourself from speaking up, when you stay in places that drain you, relationships that break you, or jobs that don't see you. All because you've been trained to believe that validation comes from the outside. It's from applause, from likes, from someone else saying you're enough. But you are enough, right now, as you are. Self-worth isn't about being perfect. It's not about having it all together. It's about recognizing that even in your struggle, even in your pain, you are valuable. You matter and you belong. But just so we understand, you won't always feel this way. There will be days when your self-esteem drops, when comparison creeps in, when someone says something that cuts deep and you start to question everything. That's normal. That's being human. But here's what you must remember. Feelings are temporary. Worth is not. You're not defined by who left you, who hurt you, who overlooked you. You're not defined by your lowest moments, your worst mistakes, or the things you regret. You are bigger than that, deeper than that, brighter than that. Start reclaiming your worth. Stop waiting for others to tell you who you are. And start reminding yourself of your strengths, your resilience. The fact that you've survived 100% of your worst days and you're still here, that alone is power. Surround yourself with people who lift you, who speak life into you, who see your light even when you forget you have one. And most of all, do the work. Build yourself up one day, one habit, one win at a time. Keep promises you've made to yourself. Take care of your body. Invest in your growth and forgive yourself for the past. That's self-worth in action. Don't let the noise of the world drown out your truth. Don't let rejection write your story. Don't let someone's inability to see your value trick you into thinking that you have none. You're not here to be small. You're not here to please everyone. You're not here to earn love. You're here to live, to grow, and to rise. Remember this, their blindness doesn't take away your beauty. Their silence doesn't erase your voice. And their ignorance doesn't cancel your value. You are worthy, fully, deeply, unquestionably, whether they see it or not. And the moment you start believing in your worth, the world starts catching up. Have you ever felt good about something? Your progress, your success, your happiness, until you saw someone else doing better. You were proud of your work until you scrolled through social media and saw someone achieving more. You felt confident until you walked into a room and noticed someone who seemed smarter, wealthier, or more accomplished. That moment right there, that's the moment joy is stolen from you. Comparison is the thief of joy. It doesn't just take your happiness, it drains your motivation, steals your energy, and blinds you from your own success. It makes you feel like what you have isn't enough, when in reality, it was enough before you looked at someone else. But what you need to understand is this: comparison is an illusion. The moment you compare yourself to someone else, you're seeing only a fraction of their reality. You're looking at their highlight reel, not their struggles. You see their victories, but not the failures it took to get there. You see their confidence, but not their insecurities. And yet you let this incomplete picture dictate how you feel about yourself. And that has to stop, because every second you spend comparing, you're robbing yourself of appreciation. You're ignoring your own growth. You're denying yourself the credit you deserve. So how do you break free of this toxic cycle? First, focus on your own journey. Your path is yours. No one else has lived your experiences, fought your battles, or overcome your obstacles. Your success cannot and should not look like anyone else's. The only comparison worth making is to who you were yesterday. Second is control your environment. Social media, TV, even the people you surround yourself with. Everything influences your perception of success. Be mindful of what you consume. If something constantly makes you feel less than, well, unfollow it, mute it, step away from it, protect your peace. Third, celebrate others without diminishing yourself. Just because someone else is winning doesn't mean you're losing. Success is not a limited resource. Someone else's greatness does not take away from your own. So clap for others and then get back to your own work. Number 4 is practice gratitude daily. Nothing destroys comparison faster than gratitude. When you actively focus on what's good in your life, you stop obsessing over what others have. Write down your wins, recognize your strengths, and own your achievements. At the end of the day, your joy belongs to you. Don't hand it over to the illusion of someone else's life. Because when you stop comparing, you start thriving. When you stop looking sideways, you start moving forward. And when you stop chasing someone else's version of success, you finally step into your own. So choose yourself, choose your journey, and don't let comparison steal another moment of your joy. One day you'll take your last breath. And in that moment, your life won't be measured by the dreams you had. It'll be measured by the actions you took. When you look back, will your story be one of daring adventure and relentless pursuit? Or will it be filled with pages of hesitation, missed opportunities, and excuses? Too many people fade away with their dreams still inside them. They spend their days saying, one day I'll start that business. One day I'll write that book. One day I'll chase that goal. And before they know it, their time is up. The saddest words you'll ever hear are, I wish I had. The truth is, regret is avoidable. And it starts with a simple choice, to stop waiting and start living. Because the world doesn't reward intentions, it rewards actions. It's the dreamer versus the doer. Think about the people you admire most, the ones who changed the game, built something meaningful, or left their mark on history. They weren't necessarily the smartest, the richest, or the most talented, but they all had one thing in common. They did something. They took a risk. They stepped into the unknown. They acted. Meanwhile, millions of people sit on the sidelines, waiting for the right time, the perfect plan, or some kind of sign from the universe. But the right time will never come. The perfect plan doesn't exist. And the only sign you'll ever need is the one staring at you in the mirror, and it's you. No one remembers what you wanted to do. When your story is told, no one will talk about the dreams you kept to yourself. They won't write books about your good intentions. They won't celebrate the goals you postponed until it was too late. What they will remember is what you did. They'll remember the risks you took, the lives you touched, the way you showed up for your dreams, even when it was hard, even when you were afraid, even when no one believed in you. Because in the end, that's all that matters. Start writing your story. Make it a story worth reading. If today was the last page of your book, would you be proud of the story? Or would you wish you had more time to write a different ending? The good news is you're still here. You still have an opportunity to write your ending. Your next chapter is unwritten, and what you do from this moment forward is entirely up to you. Don't wait. Don't overthink. Don't let fear keep you in a life that feels too small for your dreams. Take the trip. Start the project. Make the call. Take the leap. Because when you look back, you want your story to be about what you did, not what you always wanted to do. Fear is a powerful emotion. It can freeze us in our tracks, stifle our dreams, and keep us from reaching our true potential. Fear of failure in particular can be paralyzing. It whispers in our ears telling us that we're not good enough, we'll never succeed, and we might as well not try. However, fear is a natural part of life, and it doesn't have to control us. Let's explore how you can overcome fear and embrace the opportunities that lie ahead. First, acknowledge your fear. The first step in overcoming fear is to acknowledge it. We often try to ignore our fears or pretend they don't exist, but when we do that, we give them power. So identify what you're afraid of. Is it failing at a job? Losing a relationship? By naming your fear, you take the first step towards diminishing its power. Remember, it's okay to be afraid. Everyone experiences fear. It's how you respond that matters. And then shift your perspective on failure. We often view failure as a dead end, a reason to stop trying. But what if we looked at it differently? Failure is just a stepping stone. Every successful person has faced failure at some point. It's how we learn, adapt, grow, and improve. Embrace the mindset that failure is not the opposite of success. It's a part of it. When you fail, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? And then take small steps. Fear often feels overwhelming, but you can break it down into manageable steps. Start small. If you're afraid of public speaking, let's say, begin by talking to a small group of friends. Gradually increase your audience as your confidence grows. Each small step you take diminishes the power of fear, and celebrate those victories, no matter how small. See yourself succeeding. Visualization is a powerful tool. When you picture yourself succeeding, you create a positive association with the outcome. So spend a few minutes each day imagining yourself overcoming your fear. See yourself succeeding, feeling confident, and achieving your goals. This mental rehearsal prepares you to face your fears and reinforces your belief in your abilities. Surround yourself with support. Your environment can significantly impact your mindset. Surround yourself with supportive people who believe in you and encourage you to face your fears. Share your goals and fears with them. They can offer valuable perspectives and encouragement. Join groups or communities where others are working to overcome similar fears. You'll realize you're not alone, and that camaraderie can provide immense strength. Practice mindfulness and self-compassion, please. Fear can often lead to negative self-talk, which only adds to the pressure. Practice mindfulness techniques, such as meditation or deep breathing, to center yourself and reduce anxiety. Be kind to yourself. Recognize that it's okay to be afraid, and treat yourself with the same compassion you would offer a friend. Let's embrace fear as part of your journey. Overcoming fear isn't about eliminating it completely. It's about learning to dance with it. Recognize that fear is a signal. It's a sign that you're stepping outside of your comfort zone, which is often where growth happens. Every time you face a fear, you're building resilience, courage, and strength. So don't let fear stop you. Instead, use it as fuel to propel you forward. Today's going to be a day to get back up, and get back in the fight. I mean, we've all been there, that moment when life knocks you down so hard and it feels impossible to get back up. I mean, maybe you work tirelessly towards a goal, only to see it slip through your fingers. Maybe you put your heart into something, your career, a relationship, or a dream, and it didn't turn out the way you'd hoped. And I know it hurts. And in those moments, it's easy to feel defeated and to question everything. But what you need to remember is defeat is not the end. It's a part of the process. Every person who has achieved success, every person you admire, they've had their own version of failures. They've been knocked down just like you. But the difference is they chose to get back up. They didn't let defeat define them. In fact, they used it as fuel to keep them going. When you're in the middle of a tough defeat, it can feel overwhelming. You might be asking yourself, why did this happen to me? Or what's the point of trying again? But the truth is, it's not about avoiding failure. It's about how you respond to it, how you choose to stand back up, to dust yourself off and keep moving forward. Really, think of a baby learning to walk. They don't get it right the first time. They'll fall over and over again. But as a baby, they don't see those falls as failures. They see them as part of learning. And with each fall, they get stronger, more determined. And eventually they figure it out because they didn't give up. Life's the same way. The setbacks you face today are not there to stop you. They're there to teach you, to make you stronger and more resilient. It's okay to feel disappointed. It's okay to take a moment to catch your breath. But don't stay down. Don't let that tough defeat be the final chapter of your story. Instead, let it be the chapter where you rise, where you prove to yourself just how strong you really are. Because you are stronger than you think. Every defeat, every failure, that's a step towards something greater. It's not a sign that you're not good enough. It's an opportunity to grow, to learn, and to come back even better. It's imperative to remember that the road to success isn't a straight line. It's full of twists and turns and, yes, setbacks. But those setbacks are what make the victories so much sweeter. And no matter how tough it feels right now, you have the power to rise above it. So pick yourself up, dust yourself off. Remind yourself that this defeat does not define you. What defines you is your ability to keep going, no matter how many times life tries to knock you down. Because in the end, it's not the defeat that matters, it's what you do next. The foundation of our thoughts, which affect our emotions, is our beliefs and values. They're the pieces that make up our identity, like who we are or how we see ourselves. They're literally the DNA of our mindset. I mean, think about it. You're driven by your ideologies, from what you think you can achieve to how you act. You weren't born with these. They were ingrained into you from a young age. If you're Christian, you were likely born into a Christian family with Christian traditions and values. Same for Muslim or Hindu or any other religion. But if you're atheist, you likely had an atheist parent or two who shared alternative thoughts on religion. See, you're a product of your upbringing and your experiences. You've taken in all this information and you've created your reality. Many people are fixed on their beliefs and values, never daring to question the things they deem true, and that's fine. But then there's another group who get exposed to alternative thinking and begin to explore differing views. then suddenly they wonder if what they believed is actually true, or is there another way of looking at things? Neither group is right or wrong, but it is important to understand that beliefs are just that, simple beliefs. And because they're just beliefs, as strongly as you stand on them today, you can just as easily change your beliefs tomorrow. Some values you may never wish to change, such as being kind or generous or treating all humanity with grace and peace. Other ideas you may wish to challenge, such as the world is evil or prosperity isn't available to everyone. Your negative beliefs might be about yourself, something like you're not good enough or you don't deserve love or affection. These ideas should certainly be questioned. So as much as your identity is your beliefs, I want you to know that if you want to, you can easily change them. You can make a radical change in your being by simply changing how you think. If what you're holding on to is holding you back from becoming the person you want to be, then start by changing your filter, that is, how you interpret the world. Start by questioning one belief that you exhibit now and ask, is it true? Let's take the idea that the world is toxic and working against you. If you want to change, then you need to create doubt about this idea. Is the world really out to get you, or are you just not focusing on opportunities? Where focus goes, energy flows. If you're focused on problems, you'll always find problems. But when you're looking for solutions, you'll start to see them everywhere. It's like when you bought your first car, you were excited to get in the driver's seat and take it for a spin, but then suddenly you start seeing your same car everywhere. It's not that they suddenly appeared out of nowhere, they were always there, but you weren't focused on them. If you suddenly find that one of your beliefs isn't true, then what about the other beliefs? Might they not be true as well? And when doubt enters the mind, the brain looks for alternatives to fill the void. You may have been fed beliefs when you were younger, but you don't need to hold on to those ideas any longer, especially if they don't serve the person you want to become now. Change your thinking and you'll change your life. If money were no object, how would your life be different? Take a moment and really think about it. Imagine you've got unlimited cash, no bills, no limits, just endless possibilities. How would your life change? What would you do differently? See, most of us spend our lives chasing money, hoping that it'll solve our problems or bring us happiness. But let's be honest, when people are at the end of their lives, they rarely wish they'd spent more time in the office. Instead, they often wish they'd spent their time differently, pursuing their dreams with more passion. So what if we flip the script? Instead of focusing on earning more, let's think about how we would live if money was already taken care of. For instance, would you pursue your passions? Maybe you've always wanted to be a painter, write a book, or start a small business. If money wasn't the worry, would you finally give yourself permission to follow those dreams? Or would you spend more time with loved ones? Imagine having the freedom to spend quality time with family and friends without the stress of a 9-to-5 job. What moments would you cherish with them if you didn't have to constantly hustle for money? What about travel and exploration? Have you ever dreamt of traveling the world, experiencing new cultures, or simply finding a new place to call home? With unlimited funds, how would your adventures shape your life? Or maybe you'd live to give back. Perhaps you've always wanted to contribute to causes you care about, or help those in need. If you weren't worried about your own finances, how would you use your resources to make a difference? Reflecting on these questions can be incredibly eye-opening. It's not about how much money we have. It's about how we choose to live our lives. We often get so caught up in making a living that we forget to build a life. So here's a challenge for you. Start living today as if you already have what you need. What small steps can you take towards your dreams or passions? How can you shift your focus from merely getting through the day to truly making memories? It doesn't require $1 million to make meaningful changes. Think about it. Your time, your happiness, and your experiences are what truly matter. So let's begin crafting a life that we'll look back on with pride rather than one filled with regrets. Remember, it's not about the money. It's about the life you choose to live. Keep striving for your dreams and live with purpose.